TLC presents a special presentation of I Can Make You Thin with Paul McKenna. Consult your doctor before beginning this or any new weight loss program. Individual results will vary. This program is for entertainment purposes only. He has started a weight loss revolution, changing the lives of people around the globe.
That's how confident.
It's been amazing.
I'm just really grateful.
It's just phenomenal.
And tonight, he will help you lose weight through your television.
Watching this at home through the television set, try this out.
Paul McKenna is one of Britain's most successful self-improvement authors. His life-changing books have sold over 3 million copies worldwide.
Associate motivation and pleasure.
Scale of 1 to 10, where's your desire for the chocolate?
None.
For years, he's been helping people transform themselves from fat to thin with his groundbreaking weight loss method.
Who's had enough of dieting?
From rock stars to royalty, over 500 million TV viewers in 42 countries have watched his show.
It's the easiest thing I've ever done.
It's the easiest way that I've lost weight.
I'm the fittest I've ever been in my life.
I've lost 160 pounds.
It's 185 pounds.
And he wants to make you thin now.
Who's ready for something new?
Previously, through your television, I taught you the 4 golden rules of getting thin. Number 1, when you're truly hungry, go and eat. Number 2, eat what you want, not what you think you should.
Please do this at home as well.
Number 3, always eat consciously.
Put the knife and fork down.
That means slowly and chew every mouthful with no distractions. Number 4, when you think you're full, stop. In week 2, we learned the tapping technique to conquer emotional hunger.
Concentrate on that feeling. It would normally make you want to go and eat.
In week 3, we learned to kill cravings by using negative association.
We are going to create a feeling of repulsion.
Tonight, through the television, I'm going to show you how I can make you thin.
Tonight, I'm going to show you at home an amazing way to burn off fat without having to join a gym or pump iron or run on a track. I'm going to show you through the TV a proven way to supercharge your metabolism. So what is metabolism? Simply put, your metabolism is the speed at which your body produces energy. So the faster your metabolism, the faster you're going to burn off fat. That's how naturally thin people can eat burgers and fries and chips and not put on any weight. They simply burn it off faster. How would you like to program your brain and your body to burn off fat faster than ever before? Now, I know that you may have thought that you couldn't lose weight because you've got a slow metabolism, but overwhelming research shows us that metabolism is not fixed. And tonight, we're going to speed up your metabolism as you watch at home. One of the ways to speed up your metabolism is to stop starving yourself, otherwise known as dieting. One of the reasons you're overweight is that each time you dieted, you starved yourself, sending your body into survival mode. Your body thought there was a famine on, so it slowed your metabolism to conserve energy and it stored fat. You lost weight in the short term, but then when you came off the diet, you slammed the weight back on again because you'd slowed your metabolism and trained your body to become a fat storage machine. Well, tonight, through the TV set, I'm going to give you a foolproof method to reverse the damage done to your body by dieting and speed up your metabolism for good. But before I do that, I'd like to talk to some of you and find out how you have been getting on this week. So let's have a quick word with a few people. Hi, how are you doing, ma'am? What's your name?
My name's Gina.
Gina, whereabouts are you from?
I live in Southern California.
Okay. Gina, tell us, what's been happening for you this week?
Well, I have to tell you that every day for the past 3 years, I've driven through a coffee shop and gotten a tea, and chai tea at that, and it has a lot of sugar. And since our show of learning to do the
Craving Buster,
I have not had one since then.
Wow, this is cool. Now, here's the important question. Do you feel like you're missing out?
I don't. In fact, driving, even seeing this store on every on every corner, I have to go to my happy place because I don't even want to go there. It almost makes me sick to see the place where I was every single day for 3 years going.
How interesting is this? So you look at the place, you don't get that feeling of compulsion, and you give yourself the happy feeling that you were getting from the sugar high by squeezing your thumb and fingers together.
Yeah, and I thought even by not having it, I'd have massive headaches. It did not even happen that way. It just, I stopped that minute and I haven't had one since.
Well, thank you. That's an inspiring story. That's great, isn't it? Who else has had something like that happen to them? I want to come talk to you, ma'am. Hi. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Jan.
Jan, you've got a question or revelation? Or?
Actually, two. My question is, I shut my metabolism down basically by not eating.
Yeah.
And, you know, I might eat one meal a day.
Yeah.
And then I don't know that I would really overeat, but basically I just would not eat. And so how do I know now that I am eating and I'm doing it consciously and I'm eating what I want and following your golden rules? How do I know when I've shifted the metabolism and it has started to kick back in?
Okay, two things. First of all, you're likely to have more energy. Yes. And secondly, you'll be eating as much as you used to, if not more, and yet the weight will be coming down. So have you weighed yourself?
No, I haven't, but I have to tell you this is so exciting.
Good.
The other day I had on a pair of jeans, and I noticed that they were loose, and so, so I took them off without unzipping and unsnapping them.
Wow, this is great news.
I know.
Okay, now, what I love about this is you're noticing the differences in subtle but important ways. This is really great stuff. Thank you very much. That's great. Fantastic. Okay, who else has had a bit of a success this week? Ma'am, please stand up. What's your name?
My name's Ara.
Ara, lovely name.
Thank you.
And can you tell me what's your story or what's your question?
Well, I feel amazing. The whole program has worked very well for me. It's helped me rebuild my self-esteem.
Yes.
For a while, I had virtually become a shut-in, and a year of my life I didn't work because I felt like I couldn't go out in public. I was so fat, and I felt like everyone was looking at me, and my son suffered for that, and my family and friends tried to help me, and really, this program is just rebuilding me, and I feel so much better. I feel amazing, so thank you so much.
All right. Now, look, I want you to know there's a lot of love in the room for you here right now. It takes courage to stand up and share what you just have. And, you know, I think it's fair to say, who else has had those thoughts and feelings from time to time? Yeah, everyone in this room has. I just want to say thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless. Okay, thank you. Okay. Now, I want you to meet a lady who is dangerously overweight. Her husband had already lost a ton of weight using my approach, but she wasn't convinced it would work for her.
My name's Ivon. I'm from Tunbridge Wells in Kent, in Great Britain. I'm 53 years old. I was chubby as a child, and up until I was a teenager, I was quite chubby. I don't really know why I was overweight so early on. It was just something that happened. When I was age 22, that was the first time I really seriously dieted and got really thin, got down to a size 10 clothes. But I starved myself to do that, and then it came to a point, my body rebelled, and then the weight started going back on again, and I put it all what I lost back on, and plus a bit extra for good measure. I used food to cope with periods of time when I was feeling stressed, angry, upset, any sort of reason, really. I don't really know what I was at my heaviest, because at my heaviest I didn't weigh myself. When I did actually step on the scales, I was 230 pounds. I would get odd comments from my husband, sort of really, I think, meant to encourage me to try and lose some weight. But obviously you feel hurt by them. Although I know he loved me, and he's always stuck by me through thick and thin, literally. I first heard about Paul McKenna through my husband. He said, "This is brilliant, you must do it." To my surprise, just following the 4 golden rules worked. I actually started losing weight. And I'm so happy, and life is wonderful.
Please welcome, all the way from the UK, Ivon Meany. Hey, great to see you. You look fantastic.
Thank you, I feel fantastic.
Ivon, when you look at the picture of that you that was overweight there, and you think about the person that's here now, what's the difference between these two people?
It's not really the same person. I was a blob in the photograph, and I'm not anymore.
How else are you different?
I'm more confident, I'm happy.
Now, one of the things that really has amazed me about your weight loss is that you've really taken this whole exercise thing a bit further than most people, because you started off taking a few more steps each day, then a few more and a few more, and then you went and ran a marathon.
Yes. Well, I've run 2 marathons now.
And you've run 2 marathons now.
And I'm going to be doing a 3rd very soon.
Wow, 3 marathons. Now, you started with a few steps, and then that became a few more steps and a few more steps, and it became addictive. So if you don't exercise now, what does it feel like?
Oh, I get miserable.
So actually, it's easier to exercise than not to
Yes,
exercise
it is.
now, because it's become a habit.
Yeah.
And how else have you changed your life? You know, have you noticed you got any more energy, you got any more confidence, any of those sorts of things?
Oh, I've got way more energy. I'm the fittest I've ever been in my life. I'm much happier. I'm much more confident. My husband said he's got a new wife.
Okay. Tell me a little bit more about this, because there'll be people who are watching at home who will be skeptical. What would you say to those people?
I was a fat person. I yo-yo dieted over the years and actually dieted myself to about 230 pounds.
Yeah.
I didn't think the system would work. I thought, how could it? It's too easy. I can't see how these things could alter the way you eat. But it worked for my husband, so in the end I gave in and watched. I thought it would shut him up anyway, and he'd leave me alone. But I only followed the 4 golden rules. That's all I did to start with, and the weight came off almost on its own. I was amazed.
So there wasn't effort. It's not like a diet where you have to calorie count, you have to deprive yourself, you feel like you're missing out. It's different.
No. I didn't feel deprived at all. I've never binged. It was almost as if I wasn't doing anything, and the way I was getting thinner.
You've lost 85 pounds. How long have you kept it off for?
18 months.
18 months, no surgery?
No surgery, no. It's never going back on. It's the first time in my life that I've lost weight and know it's off to stay.
Ivon, thank you so much. That's brilliant. Coming up in just a moment, I'm going to show you, watching at home, how you can program your brain and body to supercharge your metabolism and burn fat without having to join a gym or pump iron.
Makes me feel good inside.
This really does make a difference.
For more information about I Can Make You Thin, log on to www.tlc.com/thin.
Welcome back. A lot of people have been tricked into thinking that they can't lose weight because they have a slow metabolism. Well, nowadays we know it's easy to speed up your metabolism, and even the scientists agree.
The body needs exercise so that our muscles stay fit, that our heart is in healthy, good shape, and exercise in and of itself is a natural sedative for our daily stresses.
Most people don't realize that exercise can do as much to boost mood as taking antidepressants.
But if exercise is so good for us, why aren't more people doing it?
Many people don't bother to exercise because they've got this idea that if they don't do vast amount of it, that it's not worth anything. The reality is all you have to do is burn more calories than you're consuming. You can do that by walking a tiny bit more every day, taking an extra lap around the grocery store. And when you think about it in that way, it's not such a frightening thing. It's not something to be avoided.
Okay, so we've learned that one of the best ways to speed up metabolism is to exercise. Exercise. Just the word makes a lot of people feel exhausted, doesn't it? Who here doesn't exercise? Show me. So you were carried in here today, right? Exercise is any movement of your body. Now, many people who lose weight using my method never go to the gym once. They just move their bodies more. Chris Wilde, you know, who you met a few weeks ago? He lost 185 pounds. He never went to the gym once. Getting dressed in the morning is exercise. Brushing your teeth is exercise. Walking down the street is exercise. Exercise is definitely anything that gets you breathing more deeply and your heart beating faster. Yes, that's exercise. You can say, I'm taking no pleasure in this. It's exercise. That's all it is. So everyone watching this program is already exercising every day. You're just not exercising enough. You exercise every day by moving your body. So if you want to supercharge your metabolism, you simply have to move your body more. Now, a lot of people spend a fortune joining a gym thinking, got to lose weight immediately. And they go at it too hard, and then they think this is exhausting, and they quit. Well, there's an easy way to exercise. A recent study has shown that the average American who's not overweight takes 6,000 steps a day. People who are overweight take 2,000 fewer steps. What's 2,000 steps? It's a 15-minute walk. Walk a minute here, 2 minutes there, a minute there, a minute there, 2 minutes there. Suddenly, you're taking as many steps as a naturally thin person. Instead of spending 20 minutes driving around the shopping mall looking for a place that's 20 yards closer to the door, park up and walk that extra bit. When it comes to exercise, a lot of people also think, no pain, no gain. Now, if you're exercising and you start to experience pain, stop. You might injure yourself. I have got a better motto for you. No pain, no pain. In fact, another way to think about this is no effort, no gain. A little regular effort, tremendous gain. Exercise is very good for you. It speeds up your metabolism, gets endorphins released throughout the system, you know, those happy chemicals, and it also cleans out the stress toxins from the system. So why isn't everyone doing it? Because many people have associated negative feelings to exercise. If I say the word exercise, whose energy goes up? You think, ooh, good. Or whose energy goes down? Whose energy goes down? Yeah, okay. Look, I know you want to exercise, but you just can't get the motivation going, can you? Who here has bought an exercise bike off television late at night? And as soon as you bought it, you thought, this is great, this is great. And it arrived, and you assembled this thing, and you got on it, and you went at it, and you thought, oh, this is exhausting. And you had another go, and then you thought, I know what I'll do. I'll hang my clothes on it. And you hung more and more clothes on this until you hid it in a corner somewhere. Who would like a motivational switch so you can fill yourself with energy? Who wants that? Well, later on, I'm going to show you a great technique to automatically crank up your passion for life. First of all, though, let's have a little discussion about exercise, shall we? Anybody got any questions? Anybody want to share any stories with me? Ma'am, yes. Hi, what's your name?
My name's Gina.
Gina, what do you want to ask?
Well, living here in LA, we're busy people, and there's lots of beautiful people. And I feel that everybody that goes to the gym is just beautiful, and then there's me. I don't fit in.
Okay. So who else, when they think about going to the gym, imagines all these beautiful people strutting around, looking fantastic, you know, can't wait to get there, all excited? Who feels a bit embarrassed at the thought of going to the gym? Yeah, standing there with those maniacal fitness instructors shouting, feel the burn, and all the other people, you know, joining, and you're thinking, I just don't fit with this, yeah? Anybody else resonate with that idea? Of course. Okay. So what I want to say to you is, if you want to join the gym, great. You don't have to. All you have to do is start taking a few more steps each day. And then it becomes easier to take a few more steps each day. And then a few more, then a few more, then a few more, then a few more. And then, like Ivon, who we just met, it becomes addictive. Could you do that? Could you take a few more steps tomorrow?
Of course.
And the day after?
Yep.
And the day after?
Yes.
I bet if we counted your steps, if we put a pedometer on you, I'm certain we'd find it's around 4,000. Okay. But it's not a big deal to get it up to 6,000, is it?
No.
And then you might want to get 7, 8, 9, 10.
Sure.
It would become easier to exercise than not.
Definitely.
Would you be okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Have a seat. Thank you. In just a moment, we are going to meet someone from our audience who didn't even have the motivation to leave his house. I've helped him to dramatically speed up his metabolism and turn his life around. The weight's coming off. I'll show you how I did it with him before I do it with you at home.
It makes me feel good inside.
This really does make a difference.
For more information about I Can Make You Thin, log on to www.tlc.com/thin.
Welcome back. In recent years, Charlie had put on weight, and it had put his job and his life in jeopardy. When I first met him, he was overweight and he'd given up hope. he was clinically depressed. He'd tried everything and nothing had worked.
Well, my name's Charlie Histrick. I'm 46. Right now, I weigh just a little over 300 pounds. Just real stocky, broad shoulders, big chest. Unfortunately, my stomach's about the same size as my chest, if not a little bit bigger. I'm not unhappy with what I look like necessarily, except for being somewhat overweight. I know I need to get that off, and I'd like to get slimmer. I've been a firefighter now for about 24 years total. Yeah, all 5. My dad was actually interested in the fire department when I was young, and he kind of got me interested in it. And then over the years, it kind of stayed with me.
Unfortunately, Charlie's excessive weight began to threaten his health, and he was forced to take a leave of absence.
I really enjoy what I do, and I feel kind of lost right now. And to get myself back in shape, that's become my goal now. Getting healthy, trying to get back to my job. I tend to keep my refrigerator fairly empty because if it's full of food, if it's there, I'll usually eat it, even when I'm not hungry, because I'm bored. I tend to turn the TV on, lay here for a while, and just wander through the channels. I think what leads to the inconsistency is that I only work 10 days a month, so 2/3 of the time I'm at home. When I think of exercising, I think of how good it would be for me, but how much of a pain in the ass it is to do. And I wish I could get to the end result without having to put out the effort.
Charlie's in a bad place. What can I do to turn him round? The problem with Charlie is that he doesn't have enough positive feelings going on. So I showed him a simple technique to make him feel really good so that he automatically moves his body more. Nice. Charlie, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Charlie, what kind of exercise do you take?
I actually enjoy walking.
Yeah.
I just don't do it very often.
So you don't go to a gymnasium, you don't work out?
I'm not fond of gyms.
A lot of people that are overweight have made a negative association to exercise. And even the thought of exercise makes them feel exhausted. Because very often they've done this. They've got to a point where they've gone, do you know what, I'm overweight, I'm gonna join a gym. And after a few days of trying to do this, feeling exhausted and out of shape, they go, oh, I give up. They've tried to do too big a job. What I'm gonna ask you to do is just start out taking a few more steps each day using this pedometer. This counts the number of steps you take each day. This works on the principle that what gets measured gets done. As soon as you put this little device on your belt and it tells you how many steps you're taking, it makes you very conscious about steps, so you take more steps. So I need you to see how many steps you're taking each day and how many more you can take. Do you have an exercise bike here?
Yes, I do.
Do you use that exercise bike?
Not regularly.
Most people don't, because they haven't got a positive association to it. What we're going to do is just link pleasure to the idea of exercise. So we're going to remember some times you felt intense pleasure. And I'm going to ask you to link them to the squeeze of your thumb and fingers. And then we're going to go link that pleasure to the idea of taking more steps each day. Just close your eyes and just give me a nod when you can remember one of the happiest things, like the time you held your daughter in your arms for the very first time, and the time you saved someone's life. That must be a hell of a feeling.
Pretty amazing.
Step back into those memories like you're back there again now. See what you saw, hear what you heard, and feel how good you felt. We are creating a switch, a button to trigger good feelings when you want them. Squeeze your thumb and fingers together on your right hand. Think of another time that you felt very good, and then open your eyes and come on back out. You feel good? Mm-hmm. Yeah, good. Now, squeeze thumb and fingers together. There's one other thing we're going to add into that, and it's a feeling of compulsion, a feeling of, yeah, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Close your eyes and remember that time you thought, I'm just going to do it. Squeeze your thumb and finger together on your right hand. See what you saw, hear what you heard, and feel how good you felt. Link that feeling of pleasure maybe to using your exercise bike. That's it, take the feeling of pleasure, get on the exercise bike, and I want you to remember those 3 happy memories. Okay, and then come on back out, yeah? So, when you think about doing this, were you imagining walking some more?
I was feeling I want to go right now.
Yes.
I'm ready to get up and leave.
Good, that's what we want.
Hope you don't take offense to that, but I'm ready to get up and go right now.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
I'm not even sure if you've noticed my feet are sitting here moving.
Yeah, I noticed this as well. It'll be interesting to observe it over the next few weeks, and you'll actually be able to witness it because you'll be counting the number of steps you take on the pedometer and seeing it get more and more and more over the course of a week. And in addition to that, you'll feel healthier, you'll feel fitter, you'll notice the weight starts coming off. Charlie, thanks so much.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, well, I'll see you in a few weeks.
Looking forward to it.
Okay.
This rain lately has been making it kind of difficult to get out and go for walks. So what I've been doing lately is I've been riding my exercise bike. Well, I used to do this fairly regularly, and then I kind of stopped for a while, but getting back on it feels pretty good. Over the course of the last few weeks, I've noticed that my eating habits are changing. It's hard for me to eat now. I used to get up and go wander the refrigerator and just get something without even thinking about it. Now I get to the refrigerator and go, do I really need this? And before I know it, I realize I don't, and I walk away. Just have more energy now. Talking to Paul helped me to visualize getting out and walking again. It's something I hadn't done in quite a while. One of the cool things I've been doing lately is I started walking over at Griffith Park, walking on the trails, which is kind of neat because it takes me back to when I was a kid. Because I used to walk through the park all the time. I lived real close to the park. I realized that no matter how far I walk, I have to come back. I go out and walk and walk and walk, trying to get to 10,000 steps. The more you do it, the better off you feel. My determination is back up where it should be.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Charlie Hizarek. Hey, Charlie, great to see you. How you doing?
I feel excellent right now. I'm doing great.
Charlie, you look like a different person to the person I met a few weeks ago, and you've lost some weight, right?
Yeah, I've lost about 33 pounds.
33 pounds! Now, take us into your world. You were feeling down. I remember you were facing a few challenges. You told me that you were a bit skeptical about the system, but you were prepared to give it a go.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about those early days. What happened?
When I first started, I had some really down days. I wasn't sure this was going to work for me, but I kept at it. And before I knew it, it just got easier and easier. And now it does it automatically. It just happens.
So if you weren't to exercise, what would happen?
I just get up and go. I want to go do it. Yesterday was a great example. I just felt so good. It was a nice day. I went and walked over 5.5 miles yesterday.
Wow. So what about, there'll be people watching who will think, oh no, this, it's hard work. You got to force yourself. You got to really push through that, pain barrier. What would you say to those people?
Just do it. There's no pain barrier. As long as you have the desire to do it, it becomes easy.
Now, what about the way you feel? Because as we know, when you exercise, you release happy chemicals. You clear out the stress toxins from your body. What differences have you noticed in your mood?
I'm just more up. I don't want to sit around anymore. I have more desire to do things. It's just become a lot nicer.
Do you feel any more confident? Do you feel any happier?
Oh, much more so. Much more so.
Fantastic. Charlie, thank you for coming today. Not just because it feels good for me to hear your story, but when you talk like this, it inspires people watching. So there's a lot of people watching who've given up hope, who think to themselves, it's all right, for Charlie, but it won't work for me. And when you speak with the passion that you just spoken with from your heart, they're able to hear that, and it gives other people hope. So thank you for that. God bless you, Charlie.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Thank you for putting me through it.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. Okay. Okay, who would like to supercharge their metabolism? Who here would like to feel good about life? I am going to do that same technique that I did with Charlie with you in just a moment through the television set, sitting at home. I'm going to show you how to supercharge your metabolism and fill yourself with happy feelings so you wake up full of passion and joy for life every day.
It makes me feel good inside.
This really does make a difference.
For more information about I Can Make You Thin, log on to www.tlc.com/thin. TLC presents a special presentation of I Can Make You Thin with Paul McKenna. Consult your doctor before beginning this or any new weight loss program. Individual results will vary. This program is for entertainment purposes only.
Welcome back. Now, everybody knows that exercise is good for them, so why aren't more people doing it? Because they've linked negative feelings with it. In just a moment, I'm going to show you how to create massive feelings of pleasure, joy, and happiness, and we're going to crank them up, and then we're going to link them to the idea of moving our bodies more every day. Who's up for that? Yeah. Okay, so what I want you to do, and particularly if you are watching at home, I want you to do this as well, is I want you to think about something that you feel really, really happy or passionate about. It could be a very private moment, or it could be a moment you felt overwhelmed with joy or happiness, a time you fell in love, a cause that you are passionate about. It could be, if you're a mother, a moment you first held your newborn baby in your arms. It could be a time you got promoted, you won an award. It could be some compliment that somebody paid to you and you felt so good about it. It could be anything, some time that you were with friends and you felt absolutely fantastic, or it could be something else. But I want you to return to that time like you're back there again now. That's it. Remember that time vividly. See what you saw, hear what you heard, and feel how good you felt. And as you remember that time now, making the pictures rich and bright and bold, and the sounds loud and crisp, I want you to squeeze your thumb and middle finger together on your right hand. We are going to create an associational link to these good feelings, these feelings of intense pleasure, as we squeeze our thumb and middle finger together. So we create a switch, if you like, a motivational switch. See what you saw, hear what you heard, feel how good you felt in this happy, positive, joyous time, this time of immense passion, this time of deep pleasure. That's right. Return to that time now. There you go. That's it. More of that. Make the feeling strong. That's it. Give that feeling a color. Then move that color up to the top of your head, down to the tips of your toes. Double it and double it and double it again. Double the brightness. That's it. Until you are glowing with that happy, positive feeling. And now I want you to think about a time that you felt motivated. A time that you felt, yeah, I'm just going to do it. Maybe it was a hobby, an interest, a passion, or something else that you felt compelled to do. And we're going to link that feeling of happiness with that feeling of motivation, that feeling of I'm just going to do it. There you go. That's right. Seeing what you saw, hearing what you heard, feeling how good you felt. Make the feeling strong. That's it. Good. There you go. That's it. Squeezing your thumb and middle finger together on your right hand. That's it. Get those feelings strong. And while those feelings are strong, I want you now to imagine taking a few more steps each day. See what you'll see. Hear what you'll hear. Feel how good you'll feel. That's it. Just walking a little bit more, with a little more passion, a little bit more energy. That's it. Imagine doing the things that you do in your everyday life, but doing them with a little bit more passion, a little bit more energy, walking a little bit more and a little bit more. Imagine taking safe, appropriate exercise. That's it. Doing the things that you do in your everyday life with more passion, with more joy. Safe, appropriate exercise. What will you see? What will you hear? How good will you feel? That's it. Imagine doing the things that you do in your everyday life, but imagine walking a bit more. Imagine moving a bit more. That's it. Imagine maybe taking a little more and more exercise. That's it. What will you see? What will you hear? How good will you feel as you link these feelings of pleasure to the idea of moving your body more? How much more motivated do you feel? Squeeze your thumb and finger together on your right hand. That's it. Good. Imagine doing even more than you do in your everyday life. Doing it a little faster. That's it. Good. As you're doing this, you're telling your brain, your body to crank up your metabolism. You're telling yourself to have more positive, good feelings, more feelings of motivation going on inside you. And what will happen is every day these will automatically trigger. That's right. Imagine now waking up tomorrow feeling this motivated. Imagine now waking up the day after tomorrow feeling this motivated. Imagine waking up next week feeling this motivated. Imagine waking up next month, 6 months, a year from now feeling this motivation. Tell your brain to program motivation into your everyday life. Do it now. That's right. There you go. Then open your eyes, come on back out. Who here feels motivated? Yeah. Okay, one more time for you at home. Here we go. What I want you to do is this. Close your eyes if it's safe and appropriate to do so. And remember a time you felt intense pleasure, and return to that time like you're back there again. See what you saw, hear what you heard, feel how good you felt. Squeeze your thumb and middle finger together on your right hand as you remember that feeling again and again and again, and link intense pleasure to the squeeze of your thumb and middle finger, and do that regularly as you then think about taking safe, appropriate exercise. Okay, now that you're going to practice that, here's your assignment for this week. I want you watching at home to find 3 places you can walk more. Take another lap around the grocery store. Use the stairs instead of the elevator. Park a little further away from the shopping mall. Whatever it is, move your body more. Now, in just a moment, we are going to check in with Paul and Claudia, who we've been following these past few weeks, and see how they're getting on with my methods.
It makes me feel good inside.
This really does make a difference.
For more information about I Can Make You Thin, log on to www.tlc.com/thin.
Welcome back. We've been following Paul and Claudia as they use my methods in the weeks leading up to their biggest day. They've got a lot going on in their lives. Let's see how the method's working.
It's been a long road the last few years. I've gained a bunch of weight. I played football in college. You know, I had to be bigger. I played defensive line. Next thing I know, I'm about 275, 300 pounds. And then once football ended, I was still a big guy. You know, you're older, it's harder to take it off. So I kind of kept it on. And then I realized I stopped doing the things that I loved doing, like surfing. I used to surf every day. Things that I can't do now because of my weight, which I want to start doing again soon.
Paul and I joke, like, we'll be outside and we'll see the healthy people jogging by, walking by, and we'll make a joke, oh, look at those healthy people. But we're jealous, you know? We do truly wish that we were doing those things.
I've got a great motivational tool for them to use to start getting in shape.
Now, I want to talk a bit about exercise because, you know, some people think they don't exercise. And I say, what, you don't dress yourself? You didn't walk in here today? You know, exercise is any movement, particularly anything that gets your heart beating faster and you're breathing more deeply. Okay, so the average American that's not overweight takes about 6,000 steps a day. Someone who's overweight takes 2,000 less. 2,000 steps is a 15-minute walk, 4 city blocks. That's all it is. Walk a minute here, 2 minutes there, a minute there, 3 minutes there. Suddenly, you're taking enough exercise. Now, what I'm going to give you are pedometers. This counts the number of steps that you take. Here we go. And they're very simple. You put this on your belt and you notice how many steps you take tomorrow, and then try and take a few more the next day and a few more the next day. Now, just the act of having this on your belt makes it so that you concentrate on this.
I look forward to doing more steps this week. It's good to visualize your goals because then you have something to strive for.
Science has shown us what gets measured gets done.
I realized that since working with Paul McKenna, I've walked home more times than I had in the previous 6 years. It makes me feel good, and it makes me realize I should be doing this more often, and this is so easy, and it's not as hard as I made it seem.
Went, got some groceries, came home. Normally I would have just ran up, I would have parked in front, thrown my hazards on. But there was a spot down the street, so I went and parked at it, and I carried all my groceries up.
That's awesome.
I feel like I've been getting around a lot better in the last month. I've started riding my bike, which is something that I used to do, and I kind of just stopped and made excuses for not getting out there. And now I make excuses to get out there.
10,042 steps. Thank you very much.
If I keep going on the path that I'm on, I will succeed. I will be where I want to be, and I will be doing the things I want to do.
So the weight's coming off for Paul and Claudia. In just a moment, I'm going to show you an extraordinary experiment that will demonstrate how it's easy to eat less without feeling like you're missing out.
It makes me feel good inside.
This really does make a difference.
For more information about I Can Make You Thin, log on to www.tlc.com/thin.
If you take away one idea from my method, it's to eat consciously. That means slowly and savor every mouthful, because then it's easy to stop and leave food on your plate. One thing that all overweight people have in common is they eat unconsciously. Rather than listening to their stomach, they tend to eat with their eyes. A fascinating American experiment recently showed just this.
The cheeseburger, a classic American meal. We live in a culture where bigger is often believed to be better. But what if we only think it's a bigger portion, when really it's not? We invited 2 groups of hungry cheeseburger lovers to join us for lunch. We told the first group they'd be eating single-patty quarter-pounder burgers.
A quarter pound is a decent-sized hamburger.
Having just enough to satisfy, that's what a quarter pound does for me.
We told the second group they'd get double patty half-pound burgers.
For me, a half-pound cheeseburger is usually a little bit big.
Half pound is a lot.
And then we let them eat. The group with the single patty burger dug in right away, expecting to easily finish their meals. The second group also ate with passion. But while the first group was cleaning their plates, the second group with the double stack burgers found themselves slowing down. But the reason they're full is not because they had more food. Truth is, both groups were served the exact same amount of food. Everyone got a half-pound burger, but for the second group, we split that half-pound of beef into 2 patties to make it look bigger. Group 2 were expecting more than they would normally eat.
I'm getting pretty full.
I'm tapped out. I'm full.
So, they were paying attention when their stomachs told them to stop eating. The first group thought they'd been given smaller portions.
I feel full, but not stuffed.
Most ate their entire half-pound burger.
I'm not overstuffed at all. Satisfied me completely.
So when it comes to eating the right amount of food, rather than trust your eyes or what's on the menu, pay attention to your stomach. You might be surprised what it tells you.
Okay, so let's go through the 4 golden rules, shall we? When you're hungry, what are you going to do? Go and eat. And you're going to eat what you want. And how are you going to eat it? Consciously. And then when you think you're full, what are you going to do? Stop. Remember, in order to burn fat faster, you don't have to join a gym and pump iron. If you want to, that's great. But you're already exercising every time you move your body. So for the next 7 days, I want you at home to do it more. When you move your body more, for example, take more steps, your metabolism speeds up, you burn more fat. A good way to take more steps is to get a pedometer, one of those little inexpensive devices that sits on your belt and then counts the number of steps that you take each day. Research shows what gets measured gets done. When you put a pedometer on your belt, it makes you pay attention to the number of steps you take, and as a consequence, you take more. This week, I want you at home to find some places where you can walk more. Take another lap around the grocery store. Use the stairs instead of the elevator. Park a little further away from the shopping mall. Whatever it is you need to do it to move your body more. The more you start moving, the easier it becomes. The easier it becomes, the more you do it. It's addictive. Once again, thank you to Ivon Meany, who's lost 85 pounds. Thank you to Charlie Hisserick, lost 33 pounds and given us a very inspiring story. So far, I have shown you the way to change the way you think around food. Next week, I'm going to show you a way to increase your confidence and happiness and feel better about yourself.
It makes me feel good inside.
This really does make a difference.
For more information about I Can Make You Thin, log on to www.tlc.com/thin. This has been a presentation by TLC of I Can Make You Thin with Paul McKenna. Consult your doctor before beginning this or any new weight loss program. Individual results will vary. This program is for entertainment purposes only.